gonna be talking about what? Bratty adult.
Bratty adult.
And what that really means. And how our generation, the generation beneath us, and generation before us have become bratty adults. And what we mean by bratty is like they are acting like grown babies to their parents. They're disrespectful, they have temper tantrums, they treat their parents like they're not even worth what the parents sacrificed for them. And so, I have a problem with that. I have an issue with anybody that thinks that they did it on their own and their parents did nothing for them to get to where they're at. For the success level they feel that they're at, that they think that they made it by themselves, not on the backs of their parents. Whether it was student loans or loans for cars or loans for just cash or trash bags or groceries or paying your electric or paying your rent for a semester. If your parents did that for you and you're disrespectful to them to this day, you, my friend, are a bratty adult. And you need to work on that. If you feel like your mom, and let's say you had a single mom or a single dad, and they sacrificed a lot to raise you and your other siblings that you had, and they raised you in a manner that it was structured and it was disciplined, and you weren't getting away with anything but what you were supposed to be doing. You had to have manners, you were polite, you had principles, you had standards, and you had morals. And your parents raised you up on those things that they stood for so that you could stand for something. So you mosey on through life and you meet this milestone, you've graduated high school, you've graduated college, you're making it on your own, you're doing something with yourself. You're at your level of success that you feel that is success. But you're at a point in your life where your parent has reached their milestone and they're retiring, or they're getting older, and you're not quite ready for that. You're not ready for the mental understanding that your parents are getting older. They're not the young Spitfire mama that you used to have, or young hot wire dad that you used to have. They're getting older and they're getting more somber in life and set in their ways, and you just can't stand it. You try to start thinking about all the things that you went through in life with them in your childhood and growing up as a teenager and not being able to do this and not having this or not having that.
Being strict.
Yeah, your parents being strict, and so you're like, oh, they were strict. So let's say the tables turn and your parents need to depend on you now because they're older, you're at a point that you've reached your success and you can help take care of your parents because they're in an older state of life. When you get to that point, you should not feel like your parent is your child.
You shouldn't feel like you better than them.
You should definitely not feel like that you're better than your parents, because they're relying on you when you relied on them for so long and still rely on them. My issue is with the bratty adults that feel like they made it to where they were at all by themselves and their parents had nothing to do with it, and the way that they was raised had nothing to do with it, and they are so selfish and disrespectful and condescending to their parents, and they think it's okay because it's them, and
because
they're grown and they paid the cost to be the boss, to floss this hard, to be able to be disrespectful to your parents. That's what it is? You think that's okay?
Yeah, they forget about the food They forget about the food and they forget about the clothes in the bed. They forget about all the hours that was worked by the parents and all that. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they might have struggled and stuff, but they made sure they had clothes in the back, food down their stomach, had a roof over their head and all that. You know what I'm saying? Chocolate moors and all that standards, and all of a sudden, they big Willie now. Now
Yeah.
all of a sudden, your parents is beneath you now.
But wait a minute.
You had a horrible life.
Yeah.
So
What about the parents that sacrifice their time and life and money to put their children into sports and different events that created and shaped and helped mold who they became to be?
Yeah.
And they gained success off of that.
Yeah.
And they're disrespectful to their parents or think that they did it on their own.
They forget. They're ungrateful.
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 And that's what it is. What is it called?
What?
What did you say?
Bratty?
Yeah. Yeah. Bratty behind adults.
Yeah. And another